It's been said that the two most important days of a person's life are the day they're born and the day they figure out why. Hi, I'm Jimmy Lakey, the host of the Critical Mission podcast. I figured out what my why was. I thought early on I might be a politician. Maybe I'd be a pastor. Maybe I'd be a preacher. I started a music company. I host a radio show. But my why, it was all discovered on the streets of Africa, in Rwanda, when I met a little child that I adopted and decided I'm going to take care of widows and orphans in Africa. My organization, my why, is riverspromise.org. What's your why? What about my guest? What's their why? We tell the story of people's why right here on the Critical Mission podcast. Hey, it's Jimmy Lakey. Welcome to the Critical Mission podcast. So joining me today, you might know him from the Harlem Globetrotters for years, Nate, the Big Easy Lofton.
What's up, brother?
How are you, brother?
I can't complain, man. Life is good. No matter what, life is good. We're here.
I always talk about people career day. You didn't choose that path on career day. You're out of the Globetrotters now, doing real estate in Colorado. But when you were little Nate, back when you were a normal height, back before you were really tall.
I was never normal height.
Normal height. Where were you headed? What were you doing?
Man, you know what? I never actually thought about that question. I think my why and what I wanted to do, it was take care of my mother. And I knew that from an early age because of the circumstance we was in.
Let's talk about that circumstance because I've heard the story. You're from New Orleans.
From New Orleans, born and raised.
And you were not born on the wealthy side of town.
No, I wasn't born on the wealthy side.
Tell about that. Tell about growing up.
The city, the block. I grew up in New Orleans, Uptown, Third Ward, Melfamine Projects is what it's called. I grew up on 2311 Erada Street, Apartment A. Just a little bit about the place. We are the smallest project in New Orleans. So with that, we had a little chip on our shoulder as a unit. You know, we were the smallest, so we all had to fight no matter what, right? In New Orleans in the 90s, it was the murder capital, which unfortunately it is again this year. We had probably 60% of the murders in my neighborhood, and we only had 6 buildings.
Shoosh.
So I grew up in that, you know.
So when you say you had to fight, you literally mean you had to fight.
No, we had. It was nothing. It was like, hey, you live or you die. You know, it was no in between. If I go out the door, I might not come back. So I don't know how my parents even did it. You know, they raised 2 boys in the New Orleans in the 90s in those projects. So that was a miracle in itself. So the why was just to get my family out of there.
And you just want to take care of mama.
Just want to take care of mama. That was it. That was the first why. And I think in life you get the whys add up, and what you thought was the why. I thought that was my why initially, and then as I went on, went on. I figured out what the next why was, and then when you get to the end, like you say, what you figured out what your why is, it really encompasses everything.
Yeah.
So
talk about growing up. You're growing up, you're trying to take care of mama. You found a love and a like for basketball, and that's where you thought the path was taking you, basketball. When did that start?
So I knew early that basketball could save my life. Early. Because the things that other people were doing in my neighborhood, drugs, you know, whatever they had to do to survive, if somebody wanted to fight, or even different things would happen, and the athlete would, okay, leave, he cool, leave him alone. Okay, I got to trust, right? So in my neighborhood, you came through and, you know, it was violent, right? So the cops were there. They had a substation there, right? And so one of the police name was Mark McCrane, right? His substation was in the next hallway from my apartment, right? And so one day I'd be on the police car, you know, we'd probably be on there twice a day, every day in the summer, right? Just because there's so much stuff going on, they don't know who doing what, right? So they got to do what they got to do, which I understand. And one day I was on the car, and he walked out and told the other police who was new to the neighborhood, "No, Nate's good. Like Nate, he's good. He's an athlete. He's a ball player." And I was like, "Damn, like that's cool." You know, just no. He don't know if I was doing something or not, right? But because he knew I played ball, he knew who my character was from seeing me every day. He understood that. Nah, Nate's good. Get him off the car. He's not going to get in any trouble. So I knew for different reasons, even with the dope dealers, right? With the drug dealers. They called me Tater. That's my nickname, Tater. Because when I was younger, when I was born, I was fat and bow-legged. So they called me Potato. And so once I started getting the height, they called me Tater Tot. And I thought Tater Tot was too cute for being a project. So we cut it to Tater.
I keep going to Ron White comedian.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I'm thinking of Ron White.
And so the dope dealers be like, well, nah, leave, like Tater ain't doing nothing. Tater ain't doing nothing. So they wouldn't mess with me, right? So it's like I was getting treated fairly, right, as everyone should, just because of this basketball. So I knew the basketball, one, was going to keep me off the police car, right? They knew I wasn't doing wrong. It was going to keep me from when somebody's been shooting. For the most part, they were like, okay, he's a basketball player. So it saved my life from the start. So I was like, you know what? Let's try to do something with it. Like, what can I do with this ball to, my first why, help my mom? So
you're going to help mom. How did you find, you even go out to shoot some hoops, you're risking your life out there. How did you find the discipline or the drive to do that, knowing where you're afraid going, this could be my last day to dribble?
Well, sitting in the house, and they shooting outside, right? So if you every time they start shooting outside, you hit the floor, right? You hit the floor, back against the sofa, away from the window, and you keep watching TV. I learned that at 4 years old. So it was like, well, I can get shot inside, so I might as well go outside and have some fun. So we would go out there and we would have fun, and we were protected in a way. The basketball court got shot up, I think, twice when I was out there, and it was just guys coming from different projects looking for different guys. Came through the wrong hallway, shot up our court. Me and my buddy Wayne, we was running. He grabbed his little nephew, and it's something I'll never forget. But it's and I'm saying it nonchalantly, but it's nothing. It was nothing. It was like if you in your neighborhood going to the store or riding a bike or going to the corner, if you going shoot hoops or whatever, that was just it. Like I'm going out there, I knew I was going to have to fight for the most part. And if I fight today, I probably didn't have to fight tomorrow. But if I don't fight today, they're going to be on my butt tomorrow. They're going to kick we're going to fight every day until I fight back. If not, I got to see my father anyway, and I ain't want to see him. So, if I come inside and say I didn't fight, that probably was going to be a little bit worse of a butt whipping anyway.
So you're shooting hoops out on the playground, on the blacktop. You're shooting the hoops. When did you start playing the sport of basketball?
Honestly, I didn't start playing the sport of basketball until, I retired with the Globetrotters.
Okay.
All the other time, it was work. It was means to end. It wasn't the love of the game. It was putting food on the table. It was trying to get a scholarship. It was, trying to get a job. It was trying to get my family out the hotels because we evacuated from Hurricane Katrina. It was trying to take care of my oldest daughter, my next daughter.
So it wasn't the love of the game. It got you out of the house, but it was you had one mission in mind. I got to take care of the family.
I looked around, right? So I saw them over there because the heroin hit my city, right? He hit New Orleans, right? So and we say heroin. So if I say heroin, it come out sounding funny. That's the New Orleans thing. But the heroin hit. So, I see zombies and I see money from making money off the zombies and the crack. And they making money that way, right? But a lot of them don't last, right? They on the T-shirt, they're going to jail, right? So it's like, I didn't want to do that, right? Being 6'9" in jail, I don't think that's fun. And so it was like I wanted to do something. I wanted to make money. I had nothing to see. My father was a longshoreman on the river. My mother, she was basically a housekeeper, right? So what am I know? All right, I know that those two things ain't getting us out. What can I do? What am I good at, right? I can play basketball. So that was it was do or die.
Did you play high school?
Yes. I went to school called L.E. Rob Wynn in New Orleans. And Coach Kevin Como, the head coach, is still like a father figure to me today. I love him to death. He came in and ninth grade, I was getting on the team, and I told this story before, and I came back and my progress report had a C on it, B1, I think it was a C, and my mama took me off the team, because up until that point I had never had nothing less than an A. So it was a progress report though, Jim. It wasn't like the report card.
Yeah.
So I still had time to make it up, which I did. But she sent the message like, what you doing? So after that, we didn't have that problem again. So I got back on the team 10th grade year, and that was it. We did the best and all those things, and it was good.
Did you get recruited out of high school?
Got recruited out of high school. Got recruited Tulane, Miami, Oklahoma State, bunch of schools. My dad got hurt though. My dad got hurt. He was a longshoreman. He used to work on chicken boats in the river. All the stuff coming from down the Panama, all the supplies and everything, he would unload them, but mostly chicken boats. So he'd be, it'd be 38, 40 below. He in the bottom of the hole loading it. So this day they was unloading a big piece of paper. The paper was about to fall. The guy was standing right there in shock. My dad ran, pushed him. My dad's foot almost got cut off. So he had to stop working. That was my senior year. I'm about to pick a school to go to. I couldn't. My mom had to stop working to take care of my father, so no one's working, and got my little brother. So I didn't go to school out of high school. I worked in Acme Oyster House in the French Quarter on Bourbon Street. So I worked there for 2 years.
So you had scholarships waiting for you, schools recruiting you, and you had to put it on hold because mom had to take care of dad.
Mom had to take care of
and
dad.
Somebody had to pay the bills.
Somebody had to pay the bills, and I was next up. So for 2 years, I washed dishes, bust tables. I moved up, to like the porter or whatever, serving the food, getting the food out the window, handing to the waitress and the waiters, and I did that. And so Coach Glenn Cyprian. So let me go back. So my high school coach is friends with a coach named Glenn Cyprian. Glenn Cyprian, he was coaching like Nigeria Olympic team like 2-3 years ago, national team. One of the African teams he was coaching. But he's been at A&M, UNLV, everywhere. He was my guy. Love him to death. So him and my high school coach are best friends. He went to school with a guy named Glenn Almatrot, who actually was the GM at Acme Oyster House. So when I needed to work, instead of me going to college, I called Glenn. Glenn called Glenn, both of them named Glenn, and I went there. So there's another guy who they went to high school with called Billy Kennedy. Billy Kennedy was the coach at Texas A&M, Murray State. Most recently, he was the assistant coach over at Wichita State. He was coaching a school named Centenary in Louisiana. So he went to a school named Southeast Louisiana. When I got told those two, I wasn't going to play, he stayed in touch through the 2 years. So when I was at Acme, he stayed in touch. I had my first daughter. She's 24 now. When I was at Acme, he stayed in touch, even though I was in the first quarter, 18. I wasn't working out. I was working double shifts to take care of everybody. Even though he still stayed in touch with me. So, push the story up. After 2 years, my dad's better. My mom can work now. I'm going to school. I had to go to junior college route, right? Went to junior college in Arkansas. I thought I was on a full ride. But in the Jayhawk Conference, anybody know, there's no full scholarship. Your scholarship pays for your room and board. So I couldn't do that because I got a daughter.
Yeah.
I need all of this and more. So I switched to a school called West Ark, then it's Fort Smith now. University of Arkansas, Fort Smith. Played there for a year. Killed. So now, here come the scholarships again. Coach Kennedy, who's been in touch with me for those 2 years and the other 2 years, he was at Southeastern. Coach Sip, who used to be at UNLV, is now at Oklahoma State. I can't think of his name right now off the top of my head. But anyway, Coach Sip is my mentor, my guy. But Coach Sip, the type of person he is, he said, Nate, I know Coach Kennedy stood with you while you was going through what you was going through. And Coach Sip did too. He was taking care of me. This was before NIL, so I don't know if everything is up, but he was making sure I was taken care of, right? And he said, if I know how I know you, you're loyal. He said, you're the most loyal person I know at a young age. And Southeastern is 45 minutes from New Orleans, so I could be close to my daughter, right? Because I was in Kansas, I was in Arkansas. And there was snow and snow. So I could come back home and not have to worry about that. So I went to Southeastern. And that's where the link with all them come and getting back to there. So
you started playing ball there.
Playing ball at Southeastern. Junior year, I was a newcomer of the year, best record in the history of the school and all those things. Senior year, we did even better. Went to the tournament. Had my second daughter. I was on a full scholarship, getting Pell Grant, and taking out loans. to send home to. I was gonna make sure my family was
Yeah.
good. Full scholarship. Think about it. I said, think about it. Full scholarship. Getting Pell Grant, sending that home. Taking out loans, sending that home. Right. I said to myself, I'm gonna bet on myself. I'm gonna take these loans out, even though I don't technically need them for to pay anything, but bills got to get paid in the hood, you know. And my senior, I had my second daughter.
So families still live in New Orleans in the projects.
Yes, same. They still in New Orleans in the project.
Same place.
I'm in the same project. I'm in school, but we ain't doing nothing. So that was helping though. That was more. That was good money coming in there. So I was helping them out, and boom, had a great year my senior year. Agents started calling me saying, you're going to go to the NBA, because I was fourth in the nation in rebound and all that stuff. So I got with this one agent, Merrill Scott, is an amazing, amazing dude. And like a dummy, which I want everybody to hear, as a kid I want them to hear, I withdraw from class.
Oh.
I'm about to work out and go to NBA. What I need to go to class for, right? A week later, LCL, MCL. So that was like April, May, right? Because it was after the tournament and everything. We went to the tournament and all those things. So Merrill got me tryouts with the Spurs, the Hornets. It was New Orleans Hornets then. The Raptors, and one more team I can't think of on the top of my head. Or maybe just those three. Had a good workout, had a good tryout, but my knee was still not healed, so it would swell up after the workout. So if you know anything about the NBA draft, you work out, you play, and then they go to do physicals. And my knee was like that. Say the China draft coming up. I didn't know what that was. Went to Oregon, over there for a week, and you get drafted. If you get drafted, you're gonna go to China and play, and you're gonna make $20K a month. You can. The most can, and $20K a month was more than probably my mom was pulling for the year, right? So I was like, cool. So went to Oregon. In Oregon, had a workout, got drafted, didn't know where or what yet. My agent was going to work that out. August 28, 2005, driving in to New Orleans from the airport. I'm in a car with my father. I asked my father, I say, why is everybody going this way? We the only car going that way. And there's a hurricane named Katrina coming. Supposed to hit tomorrow. And so you might think, well, damn, Nick, why didn't y'all go that way? Well, I just told you, we in the projects. We won't have nothing. What we going to do? We can't afford a hotel. We ain't got gas to go nowhere. It's a bunch of us in the family, right? So what we going to do? We're going to do what we always do. We're going to wait it out. We're in the projects. We're in the best place for when the hurricane came to New Orleans. Them bricks ain't going nowhere, Katrina hit. It was fine. Levees broke, however that happened. And we had to evacuate, though. And so my dad said, my brother evacuated with his family. And he called me and said, what y'all doing? And I was like, well, I said, man, it's 13 of us. I can't leave nobody. Whoever could fit in the truck, gonna get in the truck. So a couple of my homeboys, friends, family. 13 total in the F-150 pickup truck. 13 total.
In the F-150.
Inside and out. All the women and children in the front, the men and boys in the bed. We ride. So we was about to go to Atlanta. My brother said, no, come to Houston. I said, why? And he said, because Red Cross giving out gift cards. So think about that. Think about me telling you why I went to Houston. Only reason we didn't go to Atlanta was because Red Cross was giving out $150 gift cards. Right? Think about that.
Yeah.
So we drove from New Orleans to Houston. We stopped. We had got gas. Along the way, we was in line, and everybody knew what happened by that time with the Katrina. So we in line, and I'm talking. Go ahead.
I think I've heard this part of the story.
Yeah.
It wasn't an easy drive out in that pickup
No.
truck. You ended up pushing that thing.
Oh, yeah, I can go back. I'm sorry. You're right. So the water came up like to my waist, right? So I'm telling my dad, me and my boy, I'm going to say his name, me and my boy Tyree Will, we talking to my dad saying, let's get the truck out. But my dad is smart. He's like, we can't start the truck up with all that water. It's going to get in the transmission. So me, Tyree, and Will, we started walking like I was like, all right, we going to go by the bus station. We going to have to break into a car and take a van or something. Ain't none of us never stole no damn car in our life. What we gonna do when
How do you hotwire this
What
thing?
was gonna happen when we did it? There's no YouTube back then. It's 2000. what we gonna do? So we started walking like, but you know, I got kids. I gotta do what I gotta do. I got people. My dad said, where y'all going? We said, we gonna get a car. He said, stop, I got an idea. Came back. He got in. He put it in neutral. He said, y'all push it. So we pushed it.
Water's up to your waist.
Water's up to my waist. I'm 6'9", right? So it's up to their nipples. So we push it to get it to where the water's getting lower. So it's a place called St. John Community Center. St. John the Baptist Church. That's where I first played basketball at, organized that. We get right in front of that. Right in front of the church. Community Center, church. This is where I play basketball at. This is church. So he said, all right, stop. So we stopped pushing. Cranked it up. Started up. Everybody else tried to start their car up in the project. It was full of water, though. So we ran. So everybody had started like they was going to walk on the bridge. So we ran back, got everybody in the truck who was on the bridge. So you couldn't go this way because the sheriff wasn't letting anybody in because they thought everybody was trying to steal, right? Which some people were. Of course, that happened at everything. And so we got to the port where we stopped, and the police was like, y'all got houses this way? We was like, no, we leaving the house. We evacuating. And he was like, well, y'all can't. And my dad was like, if we steal something, where we going to put it? It's 13 people in here, right? What we going to steal? And my dad just gunned it. Boom. He took off. And, you know, we headed west to Houston, stopped in Beaumont, Texas, at Walmart. We had a little money, so we pulling our money together. We knew we was going to get a hotel because my agent called and booked us 2 hotel rooms, 13 people, 2 hotel rooms. Motel, I shouldn't even say hotel. And we in the line in Walmart, and we get up there, and the lady say, whatever, right? It was short of the money we had. So I look back and say, well, we're going to have to put some stuff back. We got bottled water. We got diapers for my 2 daughters, right? Cans of food because we know. Got a hot plate because we going to have to cook in the hotel. And the lady in front of me, so then the lady in front of me must have came back. I was talking to her while I was in line, and she swiped and paid for it. Put me in tears. You know, like this was a little short white lady. She know us, right? It's 13 of us in Walmart. Everybody else afraid of the people coming from New Orleans because they're gonna do this and that. And she saw us as human beings. She saw we needed something. She saw what was in our cart. We wasn't buying TVs, you know? Shit, we had noodles, water, diapers, wipes. And so right there, like I was like, man, we gonna be all right. We gonna be all right. That doesn't happen to bad people. That happened to good people. At least one of us in the 13 good, I hope. and so we get to Houston. We got the gift cards. We bought food and stuff so we can cook. You know, the next day I'm sitting outside because there's 13 of us. So there's only 4 beds. So, you know, women and children take the beds. We just out hanging, sleeping in the truck or whatever. So my agent called and said, Nate, you want to go and work out with the Globetrotters? They're in town. Combined with.
So it's in the middle of the crisis.
No, this is the next week. This is next week. They come in town to do a charity event.
And your agent's still thinking about you.
Still thinking about me. He paid for my hotel room. I haven't done nothing for him. I haven't made him a quarter. He's paying for my hotel rooms, and the Globetrotters in town doing a charity event for survivors of Hurricane Katrina. So he's doing a charity event for me, basically, right? I'm a survivor of Hurricane Katrina. So I got up there and I sat down and they said, all right, the tryout about to start. I say, tryout? I thought this was just a workout. No, this is a tryout. I say, for the Globetrotters? Like, yeah. Like, I had never been to a Globetrotter. I couldn't afford that growing up. And I was just like, yeah. And I was like, okay, well, how much a Globetrotters make? And he said, well, your rookie contract would be $85,000. I said, all right. So now I told you it'd take my mama a year to make 20. So you imagine what it'd take to make 85, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, well, okay. I can help these people in this motel if I get this contract.
So it wasn't at that point you set aside NBA, all that. We're still survival mode.
It's about today. It's about putting food on the table tonight. Like, it's not about, and none of that don't matter. Forget that shit. What we gonna eat tomorrow? How we gonna put gas in there tomorrow? how we gonna put diapers on my baby bottom tomorrow? Not about the. I need to do whatever I need to do now.
No.
So when he said that, I told all the guys who was there for the trial, which I thought was the workout, I apologize. I'm about to bust y'all ass. And I did. I cooked them. That night, I went to the owner. His name is Manny Jackson. He got the Manny Jackson Award for the NBA Hall of Fame every year. He was the first black owner. He played for the Globetrotters, too. He was on the board like Campbell's Soup and all that, right? Real cool dude. Went to his room that night at the Hyatt downtown Houston. Was you can put 7 out of those motel rooms in there. And he gave me $85,000 right there. I signed it. Then he said, "I'm going to give you a move-in voucher, whatever for move-in, a stipend or whatever." And I said, "Well, I don't need that because I don't have nothing to move. I just got one pair of green Timberlands and some shorts." And he was like, "You're going to have a long career here because you didn't have to say that. You could have just, because it was $12,000. So you could have just took this $12,000 and pretend to be moved." I was like, "Man." He said, "You know what? I'm going to get you my real estate agent. We're going to get you a rental house." He was like, you keep that $12,000, take care of your family." So that $12,000 got all those 13 people into apartments, set up until FEMA started paying for everything. Got all them out the hotel, got my mama straight, everybody good until it was time to do their thing. So, that's sorry for such a long.
No, that's what I wanted.
That's the story, though.
That's the story.
That's the story, and after that, 90 countries, the Pope, Amazing Race, met my wife. I just living life, man. Like that's why I say life is good, right? Yeah. Like shit, look what I've been through, Like life is good. I'm here. I'm happy. I'm healthy, So life is good, man.
So you said you didn't start playing the sport of basketball towards the end of that. So lights at the end of the tunnel. Family's doing well. Yeah. I mean, and then it became something different.
It became different because it became something different because it wasn't even about basketball anymore. Once being a Globetrotter, I saw what I can do, right? I saw the change I made in people's lives, right? They had this one kid, he lives out in Sacramento, right? He's a real estate agent now. He has this disease, and we was in Sacramento Kings thing. We was doing something for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And he was standing over there by himself. So I walked over there with the ball. This is like my second or third month on the team. So me and him playing with the ball, boom, 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 boom. 20 minutes. I didn't think nothing of it. His name Michael. Next day I see his mother in the airport in Sacramento. I'm leaving to fly, wherever we going. She said, Michael hadn't talked in a year. And after hanging out with you for 20 minutes, he hasn't stopped talking. Because he was in so much pain from whatever he was going through. For me, it wasn't about the game anymore. It was like I saw that. Like, I can really help and change and give people and give kids the hope I didn't have, right? My mind, it was basketball gonna save my life. But I was just thinking from the money aspect of getting me out that environment. But it saved my life because it molded me into the person I am today. Yeah. And you know me long enough now to know I'm a giving, loving, loyal person. But if I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. And nobody gonna ever say Nate lied or nothing.
So you thought basketball was all about mama and the family and getting out of poverty and projects. Yeah. And really basketball was a gift God gave you to help others.
For others, for all the kids in the projects, right? For all the kids who sitting up there, sitting on the floor because they're shooting outside. They can look at me and, he had to go through this for an amount of time, but he figured it out. He got out of the way. He didn't make an excuse. Like I always say, don't make an excuse, make a change. It was things I could have done along the route of my story. I could have easily got drugs and picked up a gun and go take. Whether it's taking from my environment by selling drugs, getting a gun and going to take from people to try to put food on the table for my family. But I didn't. That's an excuse. I made a change. I don't want nobody to give me nothing. Everything I got, I've earned. Nobody can say they gave me anything. I don't want any handouts, right? I might need something at the time. Yeah, we was on welfare. Yeah, we was on food stamps. Yeah, we was on all those things. But we wasn't trying to be on them forever. The goal was to use it to get to the next level, to get off it. I think that's what it's supposed to be for, right? So my thing in life, I want to show kids, I want to show people that, yeah, you're going to go through stuff. Stuff's going to happen. Yes, this happened. You're going to make that as an excuse to do something wrong? or you gonna figure out what you could change for that not to happen again. And for me, for it not to happen again for any other kids.
Well, the amazing thing is the story that you're talking to the kids. Mm-hmm. It could be the kid in the project hiding behind the couch not to get shot.
Yeah.
It could be the kid in urban, nice, upper middle class.
Yeah.
They're going to make bad choices.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same advice.
No, it's the same thing across the board. It could be the kid down in Aurora. It could be the kid up in Boulder, right? It don't matter. My story can switch and flip, and I can make it unique and make it mold to fit either one. Because everybody is not coming from that environment, but that doesn't mean everybody don't have problems.
Did you ever imagine
issues?
When you go back to Little Nate, did you ever imagine Little Nate was going to be making a difference, inspiring kids in Lily White, Boulder, Colorado, or Lily White, America? I mean, little black Nate in the projects in New Orleans making a difference among the white kids, the black kids.
Yeah, no, you know what? I didn't think that, man, and I hope when I'm done, people will say, like, man, like, I'm happy there was a Nate, like that kid in Sacramento, like these kids I talk to all the time. I'm doing that to do that, right? I ain't charging them for that. Why? I'm not charging you for some knowledge. I'm not charging you for the help to kids. I'm gonna invest in myself. Because if I can invest in these kids who coming up now, I'm investing in myself. I'm investing in my kids coming up behind those kids, right? Maybe this kid's gonna save my kid from getting bullied on the yard, right? Because I told him about anti-bullying and character building, right? I told him about going through stuff. I told him about don't make an excuse about the stuff you're going through. Everybody's going through something. You got a choice, right? You can go left, you can go right. What you gonna do? So I wish there was a Nate. That's what I build everything I do to say, when I'm done, I wish I had the person I am right now. The person I see in the mirror, I wish I could have saw that, looked up to that person when I was 7, 8, 9, to be like, man, okay, I got a shot to do something. I don't have to just do this. I can do something else. But I wouldn't change nothing. Besides the murders, besides the killing and all that, I wouldn't change nothing I've been through for nothing besides the lives that we lost.
So when you talk to those kids at middle school or anywhere, what's the big advice you give? Everybody's in a different situation, rich families, single families, moms, whatever. Is there a single piece of advice that's best for them?
Yeah, I've been saying it. Don't make an excuse, make a change. You're going to go through something, right? I went through something. You've been through things, right? You're gonna lose jobs, right? You're gonna lose partners, right? Stuff's gonna happen when you're gonna say, why me? And it's the easiest way gonna be, man, I can go out here and take this, do this, something bad, just like all of us, right? Anything. That's my thing. Don't make an excuse, make a change. Nobody cares about your excuse.
Where'd you discover that? Was that just something inside of you? Is that
just life? It's just life. One day I was sitting back looking at all my life, looking at and listening, looking at the neighborhood I grew up in, going back and visit the neighborhood and seeing I was right here. We went through this shit together. And him, her, they still on the corner. They went to jail. They did this, right? And some of them, it wasn't their fault. Some of them didn't make an excuse, but some of them did. And so I didn't make that excuse. I made a change. I went and worked for 2 years, right? That could have been the excuse to go sell some drugs, quick, to go to college. Let me sell some drugs for 3 months, make a couple $1,000, no, right? Katrina hit, right? Bam. I could have went to Houston and did what everybody else did. Catch people slipping, taking their money to get us out them hotel rooms. Nah, I didn't do that. I made a change. I figured out what I can do to better myself and my family. So that I figured that out by going out and living. I didn't know it in the moment. I can't sit up here and say, yeah, I knew this at 16. No, I just got to that, right? I just figured it out. Like, that's my why. Like, my why is those kids I'm going to talk to. Those whys, when I do the basketball camp. When I do those basketball camps, anybody can look at my basketball camps. I can't buy these cigars with that money I'm making for them camp. I'm just doing that because I have to charge, right? The community. So if I was doing it for what my resume say, it'd be thousands of dollars. But I want everybody to have access to what I didn't have access to, right? But that's my why. My why is multiple, right? Everybody with my last name should be good, happy and healthy. Whether it's my brother, his kids, his wife, my mother, everybody should be good. That's my why. That's the thought there. I don't need nothing else. I don't care about shoes, jewelry, none of that anymore. If I can get a cigar, sit by the fire pit while the wife sleep. You know, life is good. Life. I don't care if the cigar $3 either. You know, like that's it, man. Like I think we put too much into what we think it should be instead of appreciate what it is.
Yeah.
Right? Like what it is sitting with my buddy Lakin right here on this day, having a cigar, my man Chad shooting the shit.
Yeah.
It's good. We not what?
Yeah.
Right?
On the podcast, we got a website that's coming up called My Mission is Critical.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you hit something real key is that it doesn't matter what you've been through, you can still parlay that into helping somebody, doing something outside of yourself.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a critical mission. Somebody says, so I'm not going to go to Africa and save widows and orphans. That may not be your mission.
Right.
You may not play for the Globetrotters and hit 90 countries, but there's something all of us can do to leave the world a better place, take care of our people and the people around us.
That's it. So when you go through something, like when people go through something, they see it as a whole. Man, that's a whole. That's a whole. No. When you go through something, that's a center block. You stand up. You get bigger. You get better. You figure out why this happened. Now you use this to help somebody else. So you figured out why you went to Africa, right? And it was river.
Yeah.
But you didn't just stop.
Nope.
You okay, I could do more with this.
Yeah.
Right? So for me, I went through these things. I saw all this stuff. And the stuff I went through made me who I am, right? I know one thing. When it comes to being a friend, when it comes to be loyal, I know I work and I'm busy and everything. But I'm coming if you call me, right? If something happened to one of my friends, I'm going to be there, right? And I'm tough. I don't trust nobody, right? That's because what I saw. Because if I trust the wrong person, I can die.
Yeah.
So I use that in my business, in my life, and it's bode me well. But I use that to make me better, though. I don't use that as an excuse for why I fail. If I fail, okay, what can I get from that? What can I do for that not to happen? What can I do for the people with my last name not to have to go through that themselves?
You could have stopped with the $85,000 up front, the $12,000.
Right.
Oh, family's good. I'm going to have a nice career and play some basketball and entertain some people in the red, white, and blue and spin the ball on my finger. Nobody been mad.
No. It's bigger than that. The Globetrotter it's not who I am, it's what I've done. And I've learned from that to keep doing it. Like you got a short time to be certain things, to be your profession. But you got your lifetime to be a good person. Mm-hmm. I was a Globetrotter for 16 years. I'm going to be a good person until the day the dirt drop.
Yeah.
And I can control that because I damn sure can't jump and dunk no more. But I can't either.
Funny you mentioned that. I can't either.
But we can be good people though.
Yeah.
Right? No matter if we agree or disagree on anything, I can be a good person. And you can be a good person. Right?
And everybody might not figure out their why, but your why is to be a good person.
That's it.
Just be a good person. Start there.
Foundation.
Yeah.
Because everything else gonna bloom to something beautiful, right? You know, I'm a rose coming out the concrete, right? My foundation wasn't that, but it had some nutrients in it. It had some good people in it. Yeah. You know, everything wasn't bad. Everybody wasn't bad. Yeah. It was good people who was in bad situations.
But your coach never imagined you'd be doing what you're doing.
No, never. But I love them and I pay homage to them. That's why I make sure I say all their names as we talking about this.
Yeah.
Because for them, you know, I'm sure it was stuff that happened where I needed them. You know, we couldn't buy uniforms like the jumpsuits and the sneakers for basketball in high school. Coach Como bought that. He had his own damn kids. He should be having to pay for all our stuff too. Yeah. He's a high school coach.
You still go back to the projects in New Orleans?
Yes, of course.
What's it like?
Listen, let me tell you something. I tell people all the time. I'm from, you see these, I'm Tater out the milk first. Before anything. Nate, Big Easy, Nathaniel, I'm Tater out the milk first. I couldn't be here in front of you if it wasn't for that person right there.
I'm going to start calling you Tater.
Tater's my name. It's right here. It's right there. It's right there. Because it's no fun in getting all these things and reaching all these places if you can't share with the people who came up with you. It's nothing like the people who came up with me, the 6 guys I grew up with before I became, I got a chance to get the money, right? Because we was together. Yeah. So when I go back to New Orleans, I'm going straight to the project. Don't pass go, don't collect $200. Because I can know, right? It's not I didn't leave them. I'm just doing different stuff, but it's still all the same.
Family still there?
Yeah, my mom's still there. My mom's still there. My older two daughters there. My brother's there. My brother runs. He just opened up a restaurant in a new hotel down there. He used to run all the airports and all the restaurants in the airport. The Buffalo Wild Wings down there. Now he does that. So
sweet.
Yeah, man. Life's good, man.
Life is good.
Life's good, man.
Your mission is critical. You didn't know it, but
I didn't know it. I didn't know why. But I appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Nate Lofton, the Big Easy. You didn't think about being Nate the Tater Lofton of the Globetrotters?
No. When I got with the Globetrotters after being, I was homesick. So I used to always talk about New Orleans. I always want to go back to New Orleans. And so Manny Jackson named me Big Easy because I represented the Big Easy. And I think it fit me well.
I went to New Orleans the first time in January. I want to go with you because I'd be somebody that think I'm somebody hanging out with the Big Easy.
Hey, we'll get you right. We're going to have you in spots you've never been before.
Oh, I like that.
But hey, listen, you're going to be the safest man in the city.
I like it.
Trust me.
Nate, the Big Easy Lofton. If folks want to reach out to you now, I know they can Google you, find you.
Google me. Hit me up. Nate Lofton 52 at Gmail. If you want to buy a house, you want to sell a house. You want to eat some crawfish with me, man, just holler at me, man. I'm easy to find.
Nate Lofton 52 at Gmail.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thanks, my brother. I know you
brother.
got things going on in your life today, but you took time for us. Thank you.
Anytime.
You
I
got it,
appreciate
brother.
you, man. All
Got
right.
it.
Tell my boy River I said what's up.
You got it.